All right, let's dive into one of the most heartwarming stories you'll ever hear. It's all about the incredible bond between a grandmother and her granddaughter, and it's called How I Taught My Grandmother to Read. This is a story that really shows us the amazing power of learning, no matter how old you are.
Think about it for a second. Whether it's showing them how to use a smartphone or maybe just sharing a story you read, there's just something really special about that connection, right? Well, the story we're diving into today is all about a connection just like that, but one that ends up completely transforming two lives.
So let's set the scene. Our story begins with this really sweet, simple routine that brings a grandmother and her granddaughter together. Okay, so picture this. Every single week, a magazine shows up in their village, and inside, there's another episode of a story called Kashiatre. The grandmother, whose name is Ava, was absolutely hooked on it. She would listen with just total focus as her granddaughter read every single word aloud.
And this is really the heart of their relationship at the beginning. You see, Ava, a woman just full of life and curiosity, was illiterate. This weekly reading wasn't just a fun little habit. It was her only window into a world she desperately wanted to be a part of. Her granddaughter was literally her key to that world.
But as you might guess, this peaceful routine is about to get completely turned upside down, and it leads us right to the emotional core of our story.
Our young storyteller, the narrator, had to go away for a wedding. It was just for a week, a totally normal thing to do. But when she came back, the scene that greeted her was anything but normal.
I mean, can you imagine the shock? This wasn't just a little sadness. This was Ava, a woman the narrator had always seen as this incredible pillar of strength, crying. It was a sight so unusual, it was deeply, deeply worrying.
So here's what happened. While the granddaughter was away, the magazine arrived, and Ava held it. She ran her hands over the words, but she couldn't understand them. The story she loved so much was right there in her hands, but it was completely locked away from her. And that feeling of being so close yet so far, that feeling of helplessness, that's what broke her heart.
But you know what? From those tears came this ironclad resolve. In that moment of complete vulnerability, Ava made a decision that would change her life forever. She decided she was never going to feel that helpless again. She wanted to learn, not just for the story, but for herself. She wanted independence.
And this right here, this is a huge turning point. Suddenly, the roles between the 12-year-old granddaughter and her 62-year-old grandmother are about to be completely reversed.
Now at first, the granddaughter kind of made fun of her, like a kid would. She pointed out her gray hair and wrinkled hands. But this was Ava's powerful response. And wow, this one line just perfectly sums up the message of the entire story. It's this beautiful belief that if you're determined enough, nothing, not even age, can stop you.
It's a great question to ask ourselves, isn't it? Ava's story just completely challenges this idea that learning is only for young people. What do you think?
And so the lessons began. The 12-year-old girl became the teacher, and her grandmother, a woman who had already lived a full, long life, became her very first and most dedicated student.
And listen, Ava wasn't just playing around with this. She was so serious. She poured every ounce of her being into these lessons. The dedication she showed was just incredible, and it proved just how much this meant to her. She worked tirelessly to hit the goal she had set for herself.
She had set a deadline for herself, the Desaro Festival. And as that day got closer, the story reaches its incredibly moving climax. This is the moment everything has been building towards.
Ava had done it. She had succeeded. She could read. And to mark this amazing achievement, she prepared a surprise. She called her granddaughter to the puja, their place of worship, and sat her down on a stool.
She presented her with a gift, and then she did something that left her young teacher completely and utterly stunned.
In a complete reversal of tradition, the 62-year-old grandmother bent down and touched the feet of her 12-year-old granddaughter.
Now, to really understand how powerful this moment is, you have to get the tradition. Touching an elder's feet is a sign of deep, profound respect. For an elder to do it to someone younger, it's almost unheard of. It flips the entire social custom on its head. And her explanation, wow, it was just so profound. In that moment, Ava wasn't seeing her granddaughter. She was seeing her guru, her teacher, and she was giving her the highest honor and respect she possibly could. She understood that a true teacher, no matter how old they are, deserves that level of reverence.
What an incredible journey, right? So what are the big ideas, the big lessons we can take away from this beautiful story?
Well, first, Ava's story shows us that education is the key to independence and being self-sufficient. Second, and this is so important, it is never, ever too late to learn something new. Third, it highlights the incredible respect a teacher deserves, regardless of their age. And finally, it's just a beautiful testament to how love and determination can overcome any obstacle you can imagine.
So as we finish up, I want to leave you with this question. Out of all these powerful themes, independence, lifelong learning, respect, determination, which one really speaks to you the most and why? Ava's story is such a beautiful reminder that the desire to learn is one of the most powerful forces we have.